welcome to the Tuesday edition of Talking Football, and today covering the events from Spain and France. And there's a lot to talk about. I'll be doing it with football analyst Yoav Borowitz and I24 News Michael Friedman, who looks at what the press is saying. And we'll talk about the change of guards in La Liga. Real Madrid was the dominant force during the first half of the season. Now they're losing ground while Barcelona just keeps winning in all fronts. And after some disappointing results, all three leaders are back to winning ways in France. All this and much more coming up right now. We begin with Real Madrid, who is clearly not that fantastic team we saw before the winter break. This weekend, on their 113th anniversary, they lost 1-0 in Bilbao. Yoav, we spoke so much about this team winning in November and December. That is lovely, but you win titles in May and June and April, not back in the winter.
They had this great winning streak, 16, 17 games. You know, they broke records. They really clicked on all cylinders. Everyone was great. Ronaldo shattering every record possible.
And then
what happened was Ronaldo celebrated his 30th birthday, and since then it's not the same player. And when Ronaldo is not the same player, Real Madrid is not the same team. It's as simple as that. And it's not only Ronaldo, it's also Gareth Bale not having a great season. Benzema is still very good, but you know, Toni Kroos started the season very well. He also slowed down a bit. Casillas is getting older and making some mistakes sometimes. So for Real Madrid, you know, they have maybe the greatest talented team in the world, but they need to be at their A game for Real to flourish. And what happens on the other side is Barcelona. You know, Barcelona has been playing tremendously. Luis Suarez is reborn in Barca. Lionel Messi scoring hat-tricks as if, you know, he just pulls them out of the sleeve.
Yeah, we'll speak about Barcelona in a second. Yeah. Real Madrid clearly something that was working so well, not working this time. Michael, what is the press saying? What has happened to them all of a sudden that in the winter they just didn't stop winning? Now they won 2 out of 5.
There's a lot of heat on this Real team. The Independent headlines read, Carlo Ancelotti feels the pressure as Real lose. So Carlo Ancelotti, he's taking a lot of scrutiny right now. A lot of the heat is going to him. Something that hasn't really clicked since the Christmas break. So he's been accused as well as being soft on his players. But he, of course, responded to the media and said, I have a lot of experience. I've been coaching for many years. And with this weak arm of mine,
that is true.
He's won plenty. So, you know, with that in mind, he knows that it'll pass. He'll get through it. He's done it time and time again. But this was a very surprising defeat. No one expected that. And, you know, the press noted that, you know, Ronaldo, there's something really not there. And he needs to really come back to form if they want to do well.
There are also some talks lately about Carlo Ancelotti not staying at the Bernabeu, moving maybe to Manchester City. They're interested maybe in replacing Pellegrini with Ancelotti. But Ancelotti, as Michael said, you know, there are accusations of him being soft. He was always accused of being a player's coach, of being an owner's coach,
many things
of being
that
soft.
Many of us will not know forever.
Exactly. But this guy is a proven winner and very experienced, and he knows how to deal with superstars. So I wouldn't bury Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti at the moment. They're just one point behind Barca.
Exactly.
They were leading by 5 points, but now having this negative spell. But we have the Clásico in a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and I think that the team that will win the game, if this game will be won, I think there will be heavy favorites to win the championship, whether it's Barcelona or Real Madrid.
That game will show us the way. What is even worse for the club from the Spanish capital is that the bad times for them come as Barcelona, as we said, is enjoying a spectacular run on all fronts. They've conquered the top spots in La Liga for the first time since November. They've also qualified to the Spanish Cup final, and following their big win over City in Manchester, they seem to be heading to the final 8 in the Champions League. Lise Barnbaum and Michael Friedman with the story of the happy days for the club from Catalonia.
Barcelona has had an exceptional week. The team will go to the final of the Copa del Rey thanks to a big win against Villarreal, and has just beat Rayo Vallecano 6-1 in La Liga. Barcelona qualified for the final stage of the Copa del Rey by winning 3-1 in both legs against Villarreal. And midfielder Sergio Busquets was taken off the pitch due to injury. The Catalan club will play in the finals against Athletic Bilbao in late May. Despite this victory, the manager of the Blaugrana is most focused on the upcoming fixtures.
We'll play the final against a dangerous rival. We started thinking a few days before. For now, we do not concentrate on the Copa del Rey. We put all our attention on La Liga and the Champions League. These are the two competitions for which we must fight and win the title. It will be difficult because of all the other very high-level teams that have their chances.
After its impressive victory over Rayo Vallecano, the Catalan club returned to the head of La Liga for the first time in 4 months. An accomplishment achieved in part thanks to the failure of bitter rival Real Madrid, who lost to Bilbao 1-0. In front of 87,000 spectators, the Barca fans watched their team finish the game 10-10 after Tito and Dani Alves were sent off. True to himself, the great Lionel Messi provided another hat-trick for his supporters, and the Argentinian now finds himself on par with Cristiano Ronaldo with 30 goals in La Liga. And even more impressive, after 38 games played in all competitions, he has scored a whopping 63 goals. Thanks to the Xavi-Iniesta duo, Luis Enrique has allowed his men to hold the ball, something he anticipated prior to the match.
We even need the ball to defend ourselves, to have the ball and to have it in our opponent's area as far away as possible from our own goal, to put pressure as much as we can. Those are our weapons, to have the ball on our side of the pitch.
But the man of the match was surely Luis Suarez after the Uruguayan recently found his pace. He opened the match with a goal and finished as well. In total, he has been involved in 18 goals in his last 15 games played. And after Barca beat Manchester City 2-1 in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, the team looks hungry to achieve the treble this season.
Yoav, the secret is not only playing good, but playing good at the right time, and they're doing it because now begins the time in which the season is decided.
Yes, but we're still not at the real money time because we talked about the Clásico, still have the last few games, and Barcelona still didn't win the Spanish League, still didn't win the Champions League. They didn't win the Spanish League and the Champions League last year. They have a new coach, Luis Enrique. A few months ago, they were talking about him leaving.
A few weeks ago
at any given day, but he stayed. Luis Suarez was considered a disappointment, really playing well lately, scoring 2 goals yesterday, scoring a lot of goals lately, scoring goals against Manchester City. Luis Suarez is a proven player, proven star. This guy is a star wherever he played. National team of Uruguay, Ajax Amsterdam, Liverpool, now Barcelona. And I think what Luis Suarez brings to Barcelona is this swagger. This, the guy's a fighter.
He's bad.
The guy will do everything. And we saw it to win a game. And I think they need it because, Messi is the greatest player in the world, but he's a good guy. Neymar, also like a nice kid. Suarez brings this toughness. Barcelona needs it, and they need their ability up front, of course, because the guy is just an unbelievable player. And Messi scoring hat-tricks, almost any other game he will score a hat-trick, and I think the guy's a better passer than a scorer,
Incredible.
The guy is just incredible. We'll be talking about this player 60 years from now.
Yeah.
So, Barcelona, but if they don't win the championship, it's a big failure for Messi. Despite all the goals that he scored, it's a big failure for Suarez, for Neymar. We're talking the biggest stars in the world.
Absolutely.
So they need to beat Real Madrid.
And
all the other games are
that game next weekend is going to be big. Michael, if we know what it's like for the fans. If you lose, you run away from every headline. If you're a Barcelona fan or a Messi fan, you want to read everything there is right now.
Right now, this is heaven on earth for these fans, and of course, their hero, Lionel Messi. Yahoo Sports headlines read, Messi's record-setting treble gives Barca lead in Spain. So once again, he shows the world what a remarkable player he is. The media can't get enough of him. I mean, this is something that it's scary time and time again. He makes it look so easy. He only did it in a span of 13 minutes in this match, so that's something else to show for him. But we can't forget about Suarez as well. Suarez has been, on form, and Enrique said Suarez plays well with Messi, and it gives, us more and more. It's clear that they have a special connection, and when you put players of that talent together, it gives them many more options in attack. So this link is really happening for the two, and it's looking nice for their future.
What a duo that is. Now, in the past few years, we spoke about the big three of the Spanish league. This season, it seems we should once again speak of the big two, and then of the other two chasing them. After some time away, Valencia is back to top spots. Last night, they came back from the Vicente Calderón with a point following a 1-0 draw. You have not big football there, but we did see big character. That's what that's the emphasis of these two teams. They're not Real Madrid or Barcelona. They have a big heart, though.
Yeah, they're a team of both teams of overachievers, but they don't have the talent that's even coming close to Real and Barca. And I think that Atletico Madrid has been dropping off to reality, because now they should not be competing, in reality against Real and Barcelona. It just doesn't make any sense. What they did last year, winning the championship, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. In football terms, it truly is. So to do it twice in a row would just be something that's totally unprecedented. And also we saw in the Champions League, they lost to Leverkusen away. And Leverkusen outplayed them, dramatically outplayed them. And now Leverkusen is not a team competing for a championship in the German league. We talked yesterday about the German league and how uncompetitive it is. So I think Spain was always uncompetitive. It was always a league of two teams, like in Scotland, the old rivalry of Rangers and Celtic. So this is not good for football. And in Spain, those teams make so much more money than the others. They don't split the TV revenues like they do in England. There's no parity whatsoever. So again, it's going to be Real versus Barca. But it is still interesting because we are talking Real Madrid and Barcelona. Arguably the two best teams in the world.
Making so much interest indeed. Now to the other results from Spain. And the most exciting game was certainly the one in La Coruña. 2 penalties, an own goal, and a player from each team scoring twice, all that in 90 minutes. And Seville kept their hopes of somehow clinching a Champions League spot as they beat Deportivo 4-3. Villarreal is also in the race after they beat Celta Vigo 4-1 at the Madrigal. For the first time in nearly 4 months, Barcelona is at the top with 62 points, one more than Real Madrid in second. And in less than 2 weeks, these two giants will meet for the second Clásico of the season at the Camp Nou. 1 point also separates between third and fourth. Atletico Madrid is at number 3 with 55, just one more than Valencia. This 1 point game continues further down as Seville are fifth with 49, one more than Villarreal in sixth. For the moment, this is only enough for them to play next season in the Europa League. The leading teams in France had some troubles recently. All three leaders lost many points along the way. This weekend, they all got back to winning ways and did it big time. We begin with Lyon, who won just one of the last 5 matches ahead of this weekend, and they seem to be heading on the same road as Montpellier scored against them early on. But the leaders replied with 5 goals of their own, 2 of them coming from Alexandre Lacazette. His season tally is now at 23. Nabil Fekir added 2 of his own, and at least for now, Lyon is still at the top. You have sometimes maybe all you need is just one big win and you're out of the crisis. Yes,
and Lyon are out of their crisis now. They're just continuing, going back to their very, very good season. Very impressive. And we're talking 3, it's a triangle of 3 stars at the top. Of course, Lacazette, Fekir, Gourcuff. Those players are very versatile, very technical, and they're goal scorers and they're great passers. Nabil Fekir, 21-year-old guy, already 13 goals,
scored twice.
7 assists, scored twice in the last game. Lacazette, 23 goals. Gourcuff is a great facilitator, great passer. So really, they're also a beautiful team to watch, and they're giving a really impressive fight against a team that is so much more richer than them.
And Michael, how is the press looking at this renaissance of Lyon?
Sky Sports headlines read, Lyon wins 5-1 at Montpellier to go on top. And of course, Alexandre Lacazette, he's been in the news for France for this whole season. And once again, he gets a double in there, scores 2 big goals. The manager, Hubert Fournier, said, the match was a little strange. We conceded a goal pretty quickly, but we didn't fall apart. We kept going and came back. And that's something that shows of a team that wants to win a championship, and it's going to be a nice race with them in the end.
They're good. And the previous night, champions Paris Saint-Germain claimed the top spot, but only for 24 hours. Visiting Lens was able to hang on almost until the break. Just before halftime, David Luiz broke the deadlock. Things became much easier then. PSG added 3 more after the break, on the way to a 4-1 victory. Of course, for PSG, the big story, Champions League coming up tomorrow against Chelsea. That may change your season.
For sure. That's a bigger game than their local games in France. You know, it was a 1-1 draw in Paris. They go to Chelsea, they go to Stamford Bridge, they need to score at least 1 goal. So they should come with an offensive-minded game plan. It's going to be a fascinating game. It's all open.
And here are all of the weekend's results from the French League. Monaco is still hoping to catch the train for next year's Champions League. The team from the Riviera won 3-1 in Evian. Saint-Etienne is hoping to do the same. They beat Lorient 2-0 at home, and Lille won 1-0 in Guingamp. These are the results, and all 3 leaders won, so everything remains the same at the top. Lyon is first with 57 points, 1 more than PSG in second. Marseille is further down with 53 points. Michael Friedman, Yoav Borowitz, thank you both for being with us. And that's it for Talking Football this week. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.